Could horse be on the menu?
As I sit here and take in all of the news from every direction, all I see is deceivers, liars, corporate media, cover-ups, agenda, all pushing the same propaganda. It's time for a game changer, a visionary, an innovative person who changes the way that people think of the situations. It's time for Game Changer TV, telling it like it is. Get in the game.
Could horse be on the menu? Thank you for tuning into Game Changer TV. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where every day we're telling it like it is. Today is August 25th, 2026. And I made a video the other day that it's even worse than horse on the menu. But horse on the menu could be a real possibility. And look at this headline from August 4th, 2019, 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Don't be surprised if horse meat will be on the menu because that was one of Trump's family businesses, selling horse meat. So, Trump wants to be in competition with everybody. So if his grandfather sold horse meat, what do you think Trump's wanting to do? Let me just throw this in here. We are a lot like our grandparents through DNA being passed down, whether we realize it or not. My mama's daddy was born in Mississippi, and his daddy was born in Mississippi. I didn't know these people because they were dead before I was even old enough to know who they were. But they were both in banking and they were both poets. And at one time, I was the youngest member of the Louisiana State Poetry Society, and I was in banking for 20 years. The same characteristics of my grandfather and my great grandfather that I didn't know. So 7 years ago, somebody had the foresight to type on the computer, "Don't be surprised if horse meat will be on the menu," because that's one of Trump's family businesses, selling horses. This person says she is speaking the truth. The grandfather served horse steak from dead horses on the Yukon Trail. So let's go see. Did Trump's grandfather sell horse meat as food? Yes, Donald Trump's grandfather, Frederick Trump, served horse meat at his tent restaurant during the Klondike Gold Rush. In 1898, Frederick Trump and a business partner opened a tent restaurant along the treacherous White Pass and Dead Horse Trails in Canada. The menu, historical accounts including Gwenda Blair's biography of the family, note that a frequent and readily available dish served to hungry prospectors was fresh slaughtered, quick frozen horse meat from animals that had perished along the crowded trail. Like, like, grandfather, like grandson? Did Trump's grandfather sell horse meat to civilians? Yes, Donald Trump's grandfather, Frederick Trump, born Frederick, sold horse meat to civilian miners, prospectors during the Klondike Gold Rush. And it's worse. Donald Trump's grandfather got rich in the Yukon, also with hotels known for female companionship. And doesn't his grandfather speak with the same verbiage as Trump? He invariably boasted that they were the newest, neatest, and best equipped north of Vancouver. So he also ran hotels that offered women companionship to the travelers. Donald Trump's grandfather got rich in the Yukon with hotels known for female companionship. Passed down the bloodline? Trump's grandfather ran Canadian brothel during the gold rush. Trump's family fortune began in a Canadian brothel hotel. Trump's family fortune originated in a Canadian gold rush brothel and serving them horse meat.
To put it in more popular lingo, Friedrich was a pimp and a trafficker. The miners worked in a very remote area. Remember, Friedrich's plan was to become rich off of catering to these miners. There was nowhere to buy food, but there were several dead horses that did not survive the journey through those remote areas. So, what did Friedrich do? Well, he fed the dead horses to his hotel guests. This seemed to be a regular behavior that was passed down in generations, i.e., the family seemed to learn shrewd business practices that they seemed to be willing to do by any means necessary to become rich and successful. Friedrich started a chain of hotels with this same behavior, and he did become rich. Friedrich went back to Germany for a brief while, and that's where he ended up marrying.
So Trump and his father learned shrewd business practices from Trump's father's father. Yes or no, is wild horse meat safe that his grandfather was serving? Is wild horse meat safe for human consumption? No, wild or domestic horse meat from the United States is generally considered unsafe for human consumption. In desperate famine, so could Trump? In desperate famine, could governments allow horse meat to be sold? Yes, governments can and do allow horse meat to be sold during severe food shortages or famines. And y'all, are we in war? Are we in war? Isn't it? And is it about to expand? Historical examples: wartime crises during World War I and World War II. European nations like Germany, France, and the UK promoted or legalized horse meat. Food shortages made traditional livestock scarce, so governments opened municipal horse butcheries to feed starving populations. During economic collapses, during severe economic crises, such as in parts of Eastern Europe or historical downturns, governments relaxed meat regulations to let alternative protein sources reach the public market. Yes or no? If a severe food famine hits the U.S., could the government allow horse meat for human consumption? Yes, there is no permanent federal ban on eating horse meat in the United States. The current lack of horse meat is due to Congress withholding funding for USDA horse slaughter inspections. 7 years ago, under Trump. Don't be surprised if horse meat will be on the menu, because that was one of Trump's family businesses, selling horse meat, as was chasing women and providing women to hungry men. And during wartime and famine, horse meat can be sold to the population. This says, I really wish that these two stories had not come out on the same day. It's illegal to slaughter wild horses in the U.S., but a legal loophole lets the government sell animals that are then exported and processed into meat. Next story. President Trump has announced that his administration has reached a deal to allow imports of up to 300,000 metric tons of ground beef for the next 90 days, easing tariffs and claiming that it's part of an effort to lower the price of ground meat. So these two stories came out on the same day. Yes or no? Could the U.S. president ship horse meat out of the country for processing to bypass the USDA and then have the U.S. buy the processed meat back? No. The U.S. president cannot use an export and import loop to bypass the U.S. Department of Agriculture for selling horse meat for human consumption in the United States. The president cannot use an export import loop while horse meat is being exported and he announced he's importing meat. Yes or no? Could it be construed that Trump is using the export and import loop in exporting the wild horses and then receiving back from an unnamed country? Yes. Online critics and social media users have construed and speculated that this exact connection, though there is no official link or factual evidence of coordinated border loop. The rumor, social media speculation has incorrectly connected these two separate issues, claiming a coordinated cycle where American wild horses are sent away and replaced with imported meat. Fact checkers and agency records confirm there is no government program or policy trading wild horses for foreign beef. Y'all remember my video from August 18th? Would I lie to you? Would Trump use the import export rules to do this? We're safe. We're safe. The man who has been associated with the sex ring and who is currently selling off the nation's wild horses and announcing an import of mystery meat from an undisclosed location, whose shrewd grandfather was also known for running a brothel and sold horse meat to desperate men, is not a shrewd businessman who would do the same to us. We're safe. Do you believe that? Are we about to be served horse meat because of war and famine? We need to pray over everything they're presenting to us. But Trump has said he's a businessman above all else, and his grandfather was a shrewd businessman, shrewd business practices. We are in evil times. Y'all keep serving Jesus. Stay awake, aware, and watching. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Hey, if you appreciate the content that you find on this channel, would you prayerfully consider supporting the ministry? We are a viewer supported only ministry, and this is our only income. If this is feeding you spiritually, would you prayerfully consider supporting us? Thank you for watching. I love y'all. Bye bye.